I also have celebdicksize.com. Everybody starts at 2 inches. And then you have to pay me $5,000 per inch.
Do they lose inches over the course of time?
Yeah, if they don't pay. Yeah, maybe it should be a subscription model. Every 2 years, you got to re-up.
Welcome, and I have a special guest for you, nieces and nephews. And it's the one and only Jimmy O Yang is here on the HAIYAA podcast.
HAIYAA!
Yes, you say that a lot, right?
I do. I grew up in Hong Kong. So it's like very, very prevalent.
We have a lot of like similarities, and we just filmed Jimmy's Kitchen. Mm-hmm. So I think
with Uncle Roger, with your uncle.
Yes,
Roger.
with my uncle.
It was very fun. I think I did pretty good. I got a passable score from Uncle Roger.
Yeah, your fried rice is decent. You know, you can cook, man. You're one of the few celebrities who can cook. You cook better than Jamie Oliver. Let's put it that way.
Well, okay, good.
Yeah.
That's according to you, not a very high bar, but we'll take it. Thank you very much.
So you grew up in Hong Kong, and then we talked about, like, when we were filming, we were talking about what movies we liked, what movies Uncle Roger liked.
Uh-huh.
Right, and Uncle Roger loves Stephen Chow. I love Stephen Chow.
Do you and Uncle Roger have similar tastes?
Well, Uncle Roger has to come from somewhere, right? To me, when I play Uncle Roger, I don't view him as a character. I view him as who I would have become if I didn't leave Malaysia.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And like 20 years older also, maybe?
Yeah, he's 20 years older than me, so he's 51 now. Yeah. So that's what I always view it as. Like, if I was still in Malaysia, what would I say about the situation? Right?
Yeah.
It's all different there. Do you remember much of Hong Kong?
I do, but at the same time, no, because I moved here when I was 13. So I feel like, have you seen that show Severance?
No.
So it's directed by Ben Stiller on Apple Plus. It's about you sever your brain into two. So when you go to work, you're one person, and then when you're outside of work, it's another person. That's how I feel about Hong Kong. Like, I have a set of memory that's Hong Kong that I don't usually access or remember. But if I go back there or I speak Cantonese, I remember it. Most of my memories from 13 to now, 34.
Okay, you're 34.
Yeah.
Okay.
Old man Jim.
I'm 31. We're getting old, man. We're getting up there.
It's wild, man. Sometimes I'm sleeping at night, I wake up, I'm like, shit, I'm in my 30s, man. Like, I still feel like I'm in, like high school wasn't that far. So it's like scary. I'm like, I'm a homeowner and I'm 30. That's weird. Like, like, it's a little panicky.
Really? You have a nice home, though.
Thank you very much.
I like the home. We were geeking out about, like, interior design earlier. That's what people
paint
in their
colors.
30s. Yep, Farrow and Ball.
Yeah.
Finally, man, to meet someone who knows this shit. All my friends are like failures. They don't own their homes, you know? Sorry, listeners.
But I do envy the times where I used to live in an apartment and stuff, because a house is like a never-ending project of like picking colors. This got to be done, that got to be done, and then I'm like, oh shit, I should really just be working. There's something so simple about living in an apartment. Like, this is very adult headache that I never asked for.
I always felt there was more freedom when I had no money.
That's true.
Yeah, because you're like, we don't have to look at it. I can't afford it. You know?
Yeah.
Now you have a little bit of money, then you want to buy a home. Then you are scrolling through like Zillow.
And also, you got to be careful now, because you can lose some. Like, back in the day, nothing to lose. You can go to Vegas, go on a bender. It's fine. Like, you lose your life saving, which is what, like $200, whatever. Now I got something to lose.
Yes, and then now when you have in entertainment, you're very, it's a very public thing, and people know you're successful. The NFT, people are gonna come at you with their NFT proposals.
Oh, how many NFT proposals have you got?
I don't know. People just ask you should invest in this, bro. You know the NFT types in LA. They're everywhere.
My girlfriend's in tech, so I definitely know the NFT type. I mean, there are some very legit people, great artists, and I believe in like Web3 and the blockchain and all that, but not everything needs to be NFT.
Yes.
I
feel like right now we're still in the stage where it's so new.
Yeah.
And it's such a gold rush.
It is.
That everybody's trying to just make money from NFTs,
Yeah. And I mean, the cream's going to rise to the top, I think, just with everything. Like YouTube, everybody's trying to do YouTube, but how many Uncle Rogers and Mr. Beast are there,
Yeah, well.
And everybody's trying to be an Instagram hoe. And then
that's very, very flattering, but don't lump me in Mr. Beast. He's like on a whole different level.
No, but still, like, you're doing very well. You're doing very,
thanks,
and it's, when did like all that blow up for you?
July 2020.
Wow, during the pandemic, right?
Yeah,
Early,
yeah,
I remember that.
Because it's like, pandemic. I was a stand-up. I went full-time comedy stand-up like 6 months before the pandemic hit.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had to like pivot.
So what were you doing? You were going on the road in the UK? Because I don't know the UK comedy scene.
Oh, yeah, I did the road on the UK. I was but the road in the UK is very easy. The UK is a small country, right? So most of the times you do the road, you can take a train back 2 hours, 3 hours.
Were you middling? Were you headlining at that point? Were you doing hours?
In the UK, they don't really have headliners in weekend clubs. Everybody does 20 minutes.
Oh,
And
interesting.
there's
It's like New
3
York
sections.
or whatever, or
Yeah,
even LA. Yeah.
something like that. You have a 20-minute section, then intermission, 20 minutes, intermission, 20 minutes.
And is that a workable
MC.
wage to do 20-minute sets around UK? Because in LA it wouldn't be. In New York, a little bit.
Yes, around the UK, yes. You probably wouldn't live a great life.
Sure.
Yeah, you could live.
You wouldn't be able to afford Farrow and Ball paint.
No,
I guarantee that.
You'll have to go like fucking what, Benjamin Moore.
It's fine. Let's
It's
not
fine?
talk shit about Benjamin
Okay.
Moore. This
Dulux.
is Benjamin Moore.
Dulux. You have to go Dulux. A shithole paint. For, paint fit for refugee camps. Dulux. But the vibe of the podcast is I just say some crazy shit sometimes.
But I like that Nigel is very similar to Uncle Roger in a way. Like you
It
talk
is.
some
I
shit.
am.
You have a
Yeah.
very you're very Asian. I feel like I need a disclaimer. You know how they do in those financial shows on CNBC. Opinions expressed on this podcast is mostly of Nigel's, and it does not reflect my thoughts.
okay,
That's my disclaimer.
We'll
There you go.
open with that. We'll open with that. Jimmy's the good guy here. But yeah, I've pissed off actors before because sometimes actors, you're very down to earth. I didn't know what to expect.
Well,
when
I'm
I
a
came
comic
here.
first.
That's
I think
true.
that's big, right?
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're all just when we show up on say you see another comic, we're just happy to be there, dude. We know we're fortunate. This is bigger than us, like that we ever thought of. So I don't know if you're like a pure actor that came from theater or like whatever it may be. It's a little different vibe.
Because actors don't bomb. I think that's why.
Oh, interesting.
Once they get to a certain level, you just have like yes man and people who kiss your ass all the time, right?
And yeah, I feel like in theater or even in improv, it's a very supportive group.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my God, that was so great. It's so subjective, you can't judge. Because comedy, it's like, okay, subjective, but either did the audience laugh or did they not?
Yep. And no matter how subjective it is, if the audience don't laugh, you feel shit.
Yeah, you
right?
bombed. Yeah, you
bombed.
Yeah, you bombed.
So bombing keeps us grounded, I guess. No matter how famous you get.
That's very
a
true.
bomb is just around the
and
corner.
we all came from nothing. Open mics,
Oh, yeah.
7 days a week, just garbage. You know what I mean?
waiting to sign up.
Yeah.
I started comedy in Chicago when I went to
You
university
did?
here. Yeah, I went
A
to
lot of great
Northwestern.
comics come from Chicago.
Yeah, we got like TJ Miller. Oh, you worked with him, right?
Yeah, Tony Baker, even one of my favorites. Great
Don't know him.
comics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pete Holmes.
Oh
started in
yeah,
Chicago.
a lot. They have a great art scene, and Second City over there. That's when you talk about like Steve Carell and
Yes.
a lot of people came from. I think Thomas Kumail and TJ all came from there.
Yeah, cool man. Oh, all your Silicon Valley peeps.
Yeah, all the great improvisers.
By the way, I love your work on Silicon Valley, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's so great because it's so real that archetype,
Mm-hmm.
the Asian nerd coder archetype.
Yeah.
It's so real. I've worked in tech startups before when I was
you have?
still figuring out the comedy career. I was doing shows and open mics in the evenings. In the daytime, I worked at this fintech company in London.
Is your background like you're an engineer?
I did engineering and
Oh,
philosophy
wow.
in the university. You have to, man. Like if my parents are still in Malaysia, they sent me here. They're not gonna let me do a frivolous thing like art history.
Yeah.
They're not gonna spend like, and it's expensive too to send your child abroad, and they're not gonna be.
That's
like,
extra expensive. Yeah.
very expensive. They're not gonna be like, yeah, just do like film studies and work at a coffee shop.
No.
Yeah.
That's a privilege.
gotta
That is
hustle.
a second, third, fourth generation privilege.
I know, a privilege I will not give to my children. I will send my children back to Asia, man. That's
Would you really not let your children pursue the arts, or if he or she was like, I need to go to art school?
I think I will. I don't know. I've been thinking about this, because I think if you raise kids here, they'll be softer than you. But maybe that's a good thing.
Like how? But it's like, okay, I get it. Like not everyone could do it. There's so many people that came up with me that maybe it's even funnier than me that never made it. Right? Like it's a lot of right place, right time. You got a good look. You got to be good at certain things and have a great business sense, all this, all that. But I could not I just can't not encourage my kid to like pursue the arts because it'll be hypocritical, wouldn't it?
Yes. But I need to make sure they actually hustle and work hard on it, because
That's true, yeah.
you get a lot of like privileged people of all backgrounds, and then they just go like, yeah, I'm a photographer, I'm pursuing photography, and then they don't do shit.
They don't.
Right.
I feel like
They say
everything.
they're doing art.
Everything, if it's music, photography, comedy, acting, it's all like 70% of it is business and like a mindset,
Yeah.
It's just like anything that being able to set goals, being able to show up, be at right place, right, like stuff like that,
Yeah, especially now, if you're a comic without a podcast or like clips on Instagram,
just
of you
with
doing
no
crowd work,
plans. Yeah, that's no good.
yeah, you're fucked. You're just waiting for people to come discover you.
Doesn't that, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like,
And so I was working at a fintech startup, at a tech startup. I did like data science when I was.
Oh,
coming
wow.
up. Yeah.
You were real Asian.
Yeah, I didn't have to, man. I gotta pay the bills,
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You build up the savings, and then I went full time. I was like, okay, I got this saving. It will last me for a year before I run out. Because I wasn't like breaking even completely just yet when I went full time comedy.
Oh, okay. It was
Yeah.
still subsidized by the old data science job.
Yeah. But
feel
then
you.
I was hoping slowly it will catch up.
Yeah.
My income will catch up to my expenses, and be like, okay, I can do this full time comfortably now. But then the pandemic hit, so I was like, I could either go back to the data science thing during the pandemic, or I could just write it out. My savings would run out. My savings would have run out April 2021.
And you would have went back to data science.
I would have had to do something. Yeah.
So you had 8 months if Roger didn't hit.
If Roger didn't hit,
It was August to April. That's what, like...
No. It's when the pandemic hit, I lost all my work, so the savings would have depleted quicker, right? So from March 2020, I had till April 2021.
I see what you're saying.
Something work
Okay.
in the pandemic.
Yeah.
So 13 months.
And you made it work.
Yeah, thank fuck.
Did you, was it a plan? You're like, man, this is one of those things. I'm going to make it work. Or was it just like, I'm going to talk some shit? Oh, was there a plan behind that?
The plan is just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, right? That's
What other shit
most
did
of
you throw at the
social
wall?
media-
Was there other uncles involved? Like, what other shit?
The
were
other
there?
characters I've tried on my old podcast that I had. I had Uncle Roger was the only one out of the 3 that took off. The other one was like a smutty late night radio DJ. Because I had a
shit.
soundboard, right? So I would play like Careless Whisper.
Yeah.
I'll take away all the chairs in my house, baby, and so you can only sit on my face. And I play like stupid sound effects. There's, it's dirty, it's dumb, not as memorable as Uncle Roger. And then the third character was, like Alex Jones, but the Asian version. Right-wing.
I would not know that, but yeah, that sounds funny.
Right-wing conspiracy theories, but Asian. So it's like super pro-China and everything.
Yeah.
And everything's about like...
That didn't work?
No, that didn't work. Nobody...
And
nobody
Uncle
liked
Roger was like overnight, it just worked?
Uncle Roger. No, it was like gradual step by step, man. On visual, I mean, it looks like it's overnight, right? But at first, I was just riffing on the podcast. It was audio only. At our podcast at the time, I couldn't afford like gear yet, so we didn't even do the YouTube video version. Just audio. I just did the accent. At first, it was like a real estate agent, a sketchy real estate agent who's like this middle-aged uncle who's just trying to close a sale. It's like, yeah, I know that blood on wall. I know that blood, but don't worry, I clean it up for you real good. You're so nice. Just sign. It okay. It not small. It cozy. It not small. Right? That is the popular refrain you hear in London real estate agents.
Okay.
It's very cozy, very homey. It's just small. It's just small. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the first incarnation. And then I had to come up with a look. I was like, okay, these people seem to like this character on the podcast. Let me come up with a look. So I texted all my Asian friends, like, send me a picture of your dads, what they're wearing right now.
Oh.
Yeah. And then it's either tank tops. If they're like in Malaysia, it's hot, right? So they're wearing
Tank tops and slippers, right?
Tank tops, slippers, shorts, or polos. Garish colored polos. If they have like a more respectable job, then they usually wear polos because it has a collar. But it's still short sleeves, so it feels casual. They tucked it into the pants.
Love that.
Yeah.
I love all the details, like the little belt womp you got. Like what is that? Like a cell phone?
It's a cell phone holder.
Yeah, that's great.
That's just. I mean, I grew up with those people. I know. My dad has that.
Yeah.
And he tries to take credit. And he tries to tell his friends like, oh, the Uncle Roger character is modeled off of me. As he taps on his little belt phone holster.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the research. And then a fan of the podcast sent me that BBC food egg fried rice video. And I was like, this shit is hilarious. I was already doing reaction videos at the time on YouTube as myself. Right? And I was like, okay, this shit is funny. Oh, I had a character bubbling in my head. Let's try to combine the two. And that just took off.
Yeah, that was the video I saw. That's a video that everyone saw.
Yeah, crazy. 30 million views now on YouTube.
Yeah, but how great is that? Because so often, you're like, to say the Island Boys. I'm not saying you're the Island Boys. you actually, there's some, a lot of talent and a character behind it. But a lot of those viral things is one hit wonder and then they go away. But you was able to build like an empire, basically.
Empire. Oh, thank you.
A YouTube empire.
I try my best. I wouldn't call it an empire just yet, but thank you. You know, it's I think it's American in you, Jimmy. He
No,
just
you
hyped me up.
yeah, I know. Maybe it is the American in me,
Yeah.
but it's you. You went from damn near running out of money, damn near running out of savings, going back to data science, to buying a house
Yeah.
with multiple cans of Farrow and Ball paint.
Yeah.
I seen your
many
walls.
cats.
Every wall is a different fucking color.
Guilty as charged. We are sharing pictures
Yeah.
of our houses. Yeah, I love it. But yes, thank you. And the videos are still doing well. People are still watching.
Amazing, yeah.
I think it's the chops you develop as a comic, man. Those skills
It
are
is. If you
transferable.
weren't as comic, if you never did stand up, I don't think it would have lasted.
No.
As you, because it's real funny. It's like it's not just a character. It's like actually funny. You're being funny.
You have to write jokes for it, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then people say when I do like sometimes I do collabs, and then collabs is harder to write for it, right? So
Yeah.
this one I think we had good chemistry. It was really fun.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just they want me to try some snacks and review the snacks, and it's just improvised and it's not as funny, and people go, oh, why isn't he as funny on other people's channels? Well, I haven't had time to write the jokes.
Right.
So that's the preparation. People don't see the work that goes into it.
Especially with stand up. I think the magic trick is it seems like we didn't do any work. We just
yeah.
went on stage
Just
and
talked.
told this joke for the first time.
Oh my
That's
God.
the trick.
I
But
wish that were the
I
case,
know.
right? And then, but a few hours before the show, I was like, it's like Word documents and laptops.
Full
and just-
panic.
Yeah. Shit. You know, the common criticism is, oh, you just put on an Asian accent and it's funny. It's like, I wish it were that easy.
Yeah, because a ton of people has done that, you know, but
Yeah.
it's not that.
I do that at my live shows.
Yeah.
And Uncle Roger still has to come up with jokes, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I wish I could just go on stage and just say shit in an Asian accent and get laughs. I wish it were that easy.
You would get laughs for maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, well, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So I'm on stage like, Uncle Roger, 25 minutes. You have to have some material,
Damn.
man. Yeah.
So now when you go on the road, you do how long?
When I'm doing my own tour shows, I open the show as Uncle Roger, 20 or 25. Then maybe I have an opening act that comes after. Then he does 15. Then intermission. Then I come out and do an hour.
Oh, that's
So
great.
I do hour 20, hour 30. total.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
on
That's
stage.
great. That's a lot.
It's too much. They're getting too much value for their money, man.
They are.
$35 ticket to see for 90 minutes.
Yeah, no, you should do shorter.
Yeah.
Save your other 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. After today.
No, seriously.
Seriously.
I'm serious.
How do you usually do it in when you're on the road? Like
I do an
touring?
hour, not a minute more.
Really?
My show ranges from 57 minutes
Okay.
to about 61. And that's it. That's
Okay,
it.
okay.
Even if I know, say I did a bunch of crowd work or whatever, and then I know it's like, oh, it's already 60, and then I'm like, I'm not close to anywhere to my close. I just fucking do my close and get off.
That's the way to do it. I guess I'm still new. It was my first like proper tour.
No, I'm
Just
just
eager to please.
I'm just very lazy. Also, I'm trying to say you have 2 shows at the same theater or whatever, or they
Yeah,
have
I
a
did
show
that yesterday.
It's
Yeah.
like you want to end your first shows. The second show's on time. The second shows people are fucking tired. You want to make sure it ends on a high note. My show never goes over 90 minutes. Like there's an opener and then me, and that's it.
That's good.
That's it.
I'm getting good advice from
Over
her.
90 minutes, people get tired. You know.
Over 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's an
Okay.
uphill battle.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. So if I want to do Uncle Roger and me, I have to like really condense it down.
Do 15, open as Uncle Roger, get an opener for like 10 minutes, and then do you for an hour. Yeah, people will be so happy. They want to. You want to leave them coming back for more. Man.
That's a good idea. Another thing is sometimes I hire a crew of like some videographers in.
Sure.
So I'm like, the longer I do it, the more chance I'll hit some funny crowd.
Oh,
work
see,
shit.
but that's great.
Yeah.
If it's like spontaneous material. Yeah, I saw some of those Uncle Roger material. It's great.
Yeah, it is alright. You cut out the best parts, you know. You cut out the
Of course.
parts that didn't work, but you leave the best parts in, you know.
But that's what's great. Like a lot of people are doing that. Like Andrew Schultz is able to put up so much of his like
yeah.
stand up like every week almost seemingly because he's doing new shit, crowd work and stuff. Like I don't. That's not my style. Like most of my stuff is very like written and I hone it and then So now I'm like, damn, I gotta wait for the special. I can't just give it away on YouTube.
Yeah, but it's working out well for you.
Yeah, it's fine.
I've seen you popped up so many times on my TikTok.
Yeah.
But first of all, I found you ages ago when I was still in university, like 2011, 2012. I think you at the Laugh Factory doing the bit about free range chickens. I'm not even a free range human. Sorry for giving it away.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
No, not Laugh Factory. Ice House or something.
It was the Laugh. Ice House had another video, that N-word bit or whatever. Like, can Asians say the N-word or whatever? That's still on my YouTube. But yeah, it was Laugh Factory and then the Ice House, just a couple bits here and there. And I was like, oh man, it's really resonating whenever I posted it on YouTube, you know. And then I just still developed into getting an hour because that was when I just started when you saw those bits.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That was a good bit, man, for someone who just started. Sure, there were
Well, maybe it was like,
of-
I mean, like a few years in or whatnot. And that bit still made it into my special, but it's wrapped around a much bigger bit.
which special is it? Amazon Prime one?
This is the Amazon Prime one. Yeah. Which is so weird because a lot of people came up to me like in the streets. They'd be like, oh man, I saw your Netflix special. I stopped correcting them. I was like, oh, it's actually on Amazon. It's just so synonymous.
It's it's like saying, just Google it.
Yeah,
right?
even though if you just binged it, you
Yeah.
say, I just Googled something.
That's cool though. Congrats on all the success so
Thank
far.
you.
And then I saw your clip in university. Then a few years go by, and then so you pop out in Silicon Valley. And I was like, holy shit, it's the guy.
Yeah,
It's the free range chicken guy.
Yeah.
You know? And it was so good, man. When you played Jian Yang, listeners, go watch Silicon Valley if you haven't. It's a real character that I feel like I work in tech, right? So if it hits home, man, that show. Have you worked in tech before?
My girlfriend works in tech, so
Yes.
it's interesting. And then when I was doing the show, I'll go up to like the Facebook campus or whatever campus back in the day to like, you know, see and research. And it was fun. You know, the character grew from something very small to something much bigger and like much more three-dimensional. So
How does that work? The writers just went in that direction, or was it your input as
Man.
well?
it was a little bit of both, I guess. But I mean, with like the most genius writers, I mean, it's created by Mike Judge
Yeah.
and Alec Berg, who is now running Barry, and he was from the Seinfeld world and everything. So it was, the part started off just 2 lines in one episode, like me opening the door, this is Pied Piper or whatever, right? And then they were like, okay, we got another episode for you. That was the I Eat the Fish episode. But all those things were very one-dimensional things. I was just like happy to have a job, you know? But then they were like, oh, okay, this guy's kind of cool. And I was giving them ideas. I was like trying to get specific. I was like, do you want me to do a Mandarin accent or a Cantonese accent? What are we thinking? So I think they liked that initiative, you know, and then they see that I was also a comedian, not just some random guy. So second season, they planned on writing more for me, which was great. I was super happy. I was driving Uber in between first and second season. It was like,
Wow.
anything would be great, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then I was very fortunate. I had a show. Yahoo used to try to do like Netflix. Yahoo had like 3 shows that they were like streaming.
When was this?
Oh man, this was 7-8 years ago, something like that. So like 2014, something like that. I forget exact 13. So in between season 1 and 2 of Silicon Valley, I booked the job as a series regular on a Yahoo show.
Oh, thank fuck you didn't take that.
Yeah, well, no, I really want to take it. That was, I mean, a career like big move, right? If you series regular. But the thing is, if I did that, I think timing wise or something wise, I wouldn't have been able to do Silicon Valley.
Ooh,
But that actually forced their hand to sign me on their show. So I became a regular on Silicon Valley.
to keep you from leaving.
Yeah, so I was very
Smart.
fortunate. The timing and everything worked out, and I was funny enough and memorable enough in the first season that the writer was like, no, we need to keep this guy. We got a lot more coming for him.
Good on your agent. You have a very good agent to have negotiated that. Unless you did it yourself.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that was way back in the day. Yeah.
Smart, man. Good move. And
Yeah.
it's real too. Like to have a show about tech with no Asian people in it. Like, come on.
I know.
Like,
I know.
most of
Oh,
us
it's
are
Kumail.
Come out. Yeah. We had.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we need like an East Asian too. Right?
I know. Absolutely.
Have you worked in any tech company? Like, there's a lot of us.
Absolutely.
And then
yeah.
the accent was on point. It's what, more Mandarin? It was less.
It was
Hong
more
Kong,
Mandarin.
yeah.
I think episode 1, it was mixed. I did takes in Cantonese and Mandarin. So when I cut it together, it was a little bit of both. If you go to my first episode, which is like episode 3 of season 1, but then I just honed in on that Mandarin accent. It's like what you're saying about Uncle Roger. This is like somebody I knew. If I kind of would have never moved from Hong Kong and I moved as an adult, right?
Yeah.
This would be me.
Well,
and a lot
with
of
a more Hong Kong accent instead of a Mandarin accent.
Right.
Yeah,
But this will be also like not just the accent, but its behavior,
Yes.
and stuff like that. Like this was like me when I came to this country.
The little like coldness, the brusqueness,
Yeah.
you know,
And
comes
the-
across rude in the Western world.
Yeah. And it's not like he seems to his roommates or whatever, like he might be an idiot or whatever. But no, he just kind of doesn't care in a way. And eventually you see that he turns quite evil. The accent, I definitely, you know, it's a lot from my mother, who's from Shanghai, a lot from my uncles, like they be talking like that. So I try to, you know, I'll pull from the same people that you know, because, characters like that, you run the risk of being too broad, you know, like because everyone wants to do like a almost like a wacky, you know, Bruce Lee accent. But if you get specific with it, oh, this guy came from this region.
Yeah.
And his mother tongue is, say, Mandarin, or same Uncle Roger, like if it's Indonesia, if it was you, you know, then it's like, oh, this is a real 3-dimensional, like it's a real person.
Yeah, I think that's important. Like with Uncle Roger, he has his sayings like HAIYAA, fuyo. Those are like Malaysian slang words I grew up using.
Yeah.
And it adds so much color to a character. It makes it feel real.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And
or
it's the
even
same
like
with you.
the body language.
Oh, the
and
leg
then
on chair.
Yeah.
Yes, we can do that.
Yeah, the body language, the even, you know,
The way he insults
postures,
people. Yeah.
the tone. And I think all that, like you approach Uncle Roger is like, you know, I approach Jing Yang as a character on the TV show. It's just getting those specifics in there.
Did you have like people helping you, like an acting coach helping you train that, or is it just all in your head?
No, that character I knew very well. And I know the comedy of that very well. And the show's so well written. And it gave us a lot of room to improvise and have fun. So I approached that show more from the comedic sense of it, from stuff that I knew timing-wise as a comic. But yeah, I've done some drama and stuff like that. And I think when I first started auditioning, I was horrific. You know,
Ooh, yeah.
Not saying like I don't have, you know, the talent for it. I think a lot of people have the talent, but you still got to train for it.
You never had any like traditional acting.
I did. I end up. That's what I'm saying. Like when I was horrible, I started going to acting classes and stuff like that, and really study the art form. And I think that's a great thing about a lot of stand-ups that become actors. We study. We want to prepare. You know, because that's the world that we came from. So I did a lot I spent all my money on acting classes. Whatever I make, a couple $100 on stand-up. So then that led me to be ready for some auditions, and then when the roles got bigger, even some dramatic stuff. Sometimes I'll go revisit some acting coaches, something like that, if it's a role that's really outside of myself. Yeah, everything else is just Silicon Valley. 6 years on that, it was really like a master class.
Wow.
For me, you know, to learn.
Yeah, I need to get some acting classes now, man. This is very.
It's serious.
inspiring.
No, everybody. It's an art form. Like I've always had like pretty good instincts, but like when it's certain things, it's like damn, you need the tools. You know, the method that they tell you. It's like method acting. It's not necessarily being Daniel Day-Lewis or Jared Leto. It's they teach you to give you a bag of tools, and whatever works for you works. And sometimes you pull from this little tool. Sometimes you pull from this, and eventually figure out things that work for you.
Wow. Okay. I've been slacking on that. YouTube takes up all my time, unfortunately. Ugh.
YouTube and Farrow and Ball take a lot of time.
Yeah, the interior design, man. I've been picking like light bulbs and like light fixtures, you know.
It really it consumes me. Like, you know,
what, furniture pieces?
Yeah, furniture pieces, or having gardening or like whatever. And like, man, I should really be writing, but I end up just like going fixing a pergola or something.
Yeah, but you know, this is life experience though, right? In a few years, you'll have material about this. This makes you a normal person. In
a way, but I think you gotta also, I'm also careful of material. I'm like, oh, I just spent $1,000 on Farrow and Ball paint, and like I do that. Nobody want to fucking hear that shit, you know? Like you still gotta be like, you know, like, accessible to people.
Relatable. Just don't drop the brand name. Just say, you ever paint your house? You ever paint your house, guys?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
You ever get an island in your kitchen?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You ever try to build a spa in your pool and the color don't come out right? It's like, oh, fuck this guy.
You ever have a tiki bar in your backyard? Which Jimmy has, by the way.
It was a tool shed. A tool shed.
No, I have to. I agree. I have to be careful sometimes when I do those bits. I just say, "Oh, I'm decorating. I'm just painting." I don't name drop Farrow and Ball.
Yeah.
Unless it's for a bit about how I've become like a middle-aged white woman. That I drop names like Diptyque and Le Creuset. Bragging is never funny, right? Bragging is never that fun unless that's your persona. So I get it. Good. You're still grounded, Jimmy. That's good,
I think that's a comedian in us. We're just fortunate to be here, man.
I know. Fucking every day, man. People ask me like. Sometimes I get recognized on the street, right? And they're like, "Oh, are you ever annoyed that people stop you in your day and just take a photo?" I'm like, "No, man, because I've been on the other side.
Yeah.
Before I got successful, I'm like, fuck, I'll take this any day. You know?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's rough.
Yeah.
You probably get stopped all the time over here.
Yeah, I would take usually most pictures, but if it's like like I went to like a Vietnamese restaurant, so it's like younger Asians, and I couldn't even have a meal. I was just trying. So usually it depends. If somebody comes, I'm literally in the middle of eating. I'm like, hey man, let me just wait. They're like, come on, you know. And usually by the time I leave, they have left. So my strategy is worked out. But it depends. If I'm like hanging out with my girl, or it's like my buddy's birthday or something, like I'm trying to just, because it takes away from them. You know what I mean? I don't want that. Yes. Or even I'm having lunch with my parents or something. It takes away from them.
That is true. And maybe also my profile's not nowhere near a level yet. So maybe I only get recognized 2 or 3 times a day. That's it. But you probably get it more.
I just don't leave the house, I think. I think that's the trick.
With a house like this, you don't need to leave it, you know.
There's a lot of fixing to do.
In London, our places are small, man. I bought my place like 1,400 square foot, and that's like big. For London.
That's pretty. I mean, this house is not that big.
Wow, you got a whole backyard and all that stuff.
Yeah, I got so lucky with the backyard, because before this, I was in a 1-bedroom West Hollywood, and I got this place right in the beginning of the pandemic. And I was kind of overwhelmed because like the stock market was crashing a little bit, remember? Like and everything. And I was like, oh my God, I just got this huge I'm gonna fucking go in a poorhouse. I'm not working. What's gonna happen? But actually it became like a great blessing. Because during the pandemic, like me and like my pot of 5 friends just had a space to hang out. If I was in the 1-bedroom in West Hollywood, it would have been like pretty tough.
And then when the pandemic started, is that when you started doing YouTube, like Jimmy's Kitchen and everything?
Yeah, man. I was just bored, man. I was like drinking like a 6-pack a night because I had nothing else to do. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't really drink.
A 6-pack a night doesn't make an alcoholic, man.
No, I think
I'm from the UK.
It's a reparative drinker. I think that's all.
Reparative drinker. What does that mean?
Have you heard about that?
No.
Reparative drinking. It's like you had a hard day at work, say you're construction, or you then come home and you reparatively drink.
Okay. Well, when I drink, I think of it as I'm a foodie, and wine is considered a food. You know, because there's so many regions, so they all taste a bit different.
Yeah.
That's why I drink. Or like Korean, like makgeolli is my favorite.
What's that?
Like Korean, it's like soju and makgeolli, the Korean liquors.
Oh, really?
The Korean wines. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. You're a very sophisticated drinker.
You can get them at any Korean restaurant, really.
I just drink Coors Light.
Coors Light.
Yeah.
You got money now, Jimmy. You gotta drink some better stuff.
Look, man, I try very expensive stuff. Nothing better than a Coors Light.
Coors Light, whiskey.
I can't. Too harsh. I mean, it's not just Coors Light. Miller Lite, Coors Light, Bud Light.
PBR.
Not PBR. I need that light beer because it goes down like water, but you catch a nice buzz. You can drink it. This is very American to me, but you can drink it all through 3 games on football Sunday, you know, without getting too full.
And then do you get the glow?
Do I get the glow? No, I'm lucky. I took after my mom, who doesn't get the glow. My brother took after my dad, who does get the glow. Do you?
Not really, unless I get really drunk. Then I get the glow.
Well, then that's everyone. I feel like everyone gets some kind of a flush.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm glad I don't have the glow.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about like Silicon Valley, the accent and stuff is always very interesting because and I only discovered this more with like Asians in the West. When sometimes you do an Asian accent, people like recoil a bit because they feel like, oh shit, is this guy gonna play a stereotype? You know what I mean?
Is it like that in the UK? Not in Malaysia, I'm guessing.
Not in Malaysia. Malaysia,
everybody has it.
I know this guy. You know, the relatable character.
That's me. Yeah.
In the UK, some people, not everybody. I think it's most people enjoy Uncle Roger for the lighthearted fun that it is. But
sure.
Maybe in the UK and US, maybe there's like 5% of Asians who see that, 10% and be like, is this? Yeah,
okay? Your fans mostly Asian or what?
It's interesting, it depends where I go. Like when I perform in Scotland or like anywhere in the UK that's not London, then I get like mostly white people. But then in London, in LA here, like more than half will be Asian.
Yeah.
Come out to my shows.
Yeah. That's good. I like seeing that because now I can get into like really specific jokes.
It's nice. Bubble tea jokes.
Yeah.
Dude, like the Asianness is more in American culture than it is in the UK. Like
interesting.
Over here, white people know what bubble tea is, right?
Over there they don't.
Over there, you go out of London, nobody knows. I have to explain, and you lose so many jokes that you can't tell because it's just not part of the cultural fabric.
Oh, interesting.
Which is a big reason why I love it here and I want to move here. The YouTube scene is more developed. There are more Asian creators here, and every time I come here, they're like, "Oh, yo, you want to do a podcast? You want to collab? You want to film something?" People are just enthusiastic.
Everybody's working and hustling. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool. But it's also stressful. I feel like every time I come back to LA, there's always like, who's doing what? What's next? What's going on? Like every question you get in the party is like, "Hey man, I just saw you on this and that. What's next?" And I'm like, just want to hang out. How about that?
Yeah. How do you answer? You say you just want to hang out?
No, I tell them what's next or what I
Okay,
just
okay.
done, but you have to almost
Oh,
because you don't want to
okay.
just be like, yeah, I'm just sitting at home making Jimmy's Kitchen videos. They're like, oh fuck, did he get canceled? Like what? Like what I mean? Like his career really went down the drain. So
That is
there's
true.
always. It's good that it makes you hustle, makes you work on different things, but sometimes it's like I just want to chill.
How do you do that? How do you do your self-care Sundays? How do you do that?
I just don't leave the house. I garden. I garden. It's great. This neighborhood doesn't have a lot of billboards. It's odd when you like go drive through Sunset. You're like, oh, this motherfucker doing that. Man, I should be on that bill. I used to be on that billboard. What the fuck,
Okay, I'm gonna move here. Then it's good. I hate the billboards. I hate any sort of like, when in the UK we have this big comedy festival called the Edinburgh Fringe.
I love it. Yeah.
And everybody just gets like their posters slapped on stuff, and you see like 4 stars, 5-star reviews on people's stuff, and it sucks if you like maybe you didn't get a good review, and then you see other people like 4-star, 5 stars. You're like,
I know.
So it's the same feeling, I guess. You drive down the Sunset and you see the billboards.
I just try to. So somebody told me this recently. I'm sure it's a very famous quote. It's like 99% of your pain will come from comparison.
Yep.
So I just try to, whenever I see somebody doing well, and I'm like, no, that's comparison. Forget about it. I'm doing fine.
Yeah, you are doing fine. You can
I'm
just
doing
go gardening.
Yeah,
Chill with
exactly.
your
I got
koi.
tomatoes coming in. It's great.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
man. That's your girlfriend garden with you? That's
No,
green?
I did that before I met her. She.
How'd you meet her? How'd you meet her?
I met her at the Hollywood Improv at a stand-up comedy club.
Oh, yeah, I played improv on Friday.
Oh, great.
Saturday, yeah. I did
That's
improv,
maybe. Well, I love all the stand-up comedy club, but that's one of my favorite places to hang out and do sets.
It's fun.
It's a great hang. I feel like it's a nice median in between the Comedy Store and the Laugh Factory.
So do they do like proper weekends, or do they do like lineups?
Just lineups.
Improv?
I think all
Okay.
clubs in LA is just lineups.
Okay.
Like what you're saying, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. I'm gonna pop by the HAIYAA. My big show for the Netflix festival is tomorrow, Tuesday, and Friday.
Yes.
So I want to try a bunch of new stuff. So tonight I'll go pop in. This is Monday. There's not a lot of shows. I'll just pop into the HAIYAA Comedy Club in North Hollywood, where like I did my first
unannounced?
open mic.
Oh, cool.
No, I'll text them because I hate to like bump people and like make the show go long.
Okay.
So I'll text them. I'm like, hey man, let me just do like 20, 30 or something. I gotta hammer out some shit.
Oh shit, nice.
Yeah.
And they just let you go up last and do 20, 30.
Yeah. And I don't,
Nice.
like I said, I never run the clock. I hate doing that.
You gotta respect the clock, man.
Gotta respect the
Yeah.
clock.
Especially
Yeah.
if there are other comics on the lineup, I think.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dick move too.
Yeah, I don't care if it's his open mic. Like that's actually like if an open micer is following me, that 15 minutes, 10 minutes will mean so much more to him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to,
And
get shortened.
is that your process? Because if I'm thinking about moving here, after this tour wraps up, then I have to, generate new stuff.
Yeah.
So is that your process that like club?
Are you shooting a special?
I will. I just don't know. Nothing's been commissioned by anyone yet. So if that is the case in the end, I'll just shoot it and put it on my own YouTube channel.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you don't
if,
shoot a special, you can keep using the same material.
Yeah, but I want to shoot a special.
Well, yes. Until you shoot a special,
Until-
then
yeah.
you got to throw it away, right?
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
want to progress, right? Your life changes. Sometimes the bits just feel like, oh, I'm still talking about this from my life
know.
3 years ago.
It was great when I did my Amazon special because that was my first special, and it was 10 years of material. Some very old, some very new, and some of the old shit I was tired of doing, but I still use it as a crutch because I know I've done it thousands of times
yeah.
and it's gonna work. But it forced me to not use it no more. So my new hour, I'm still working on it. There's 30 minutes of like really good new stuff that's brand new, 15 minutes of new stuff I'm working on, and then I still might throw in 15 minutes of older stuff that I maybe used or not used in this special.
Yeah. Also, when you go on tour,
Yeah.
do you always do like if you come back to a city in like 2 years, do you do a whole new hour, or do you just whatever you're working on at the time?
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying, right? Like there's still maybe 15 minutes of older stuff.
Okay. I see.
But most of it will be new. If I didn't have at least 30 minutes of like solid new shit, I don't think I should go back to that market.
Okay.
But
good advice again.
But that's to each his own. I think I've heard agents say as long as you got 20 minutes of new shit, or as long as it's enough years, years have passed by and you haven't done a special, you can just go back with the same. I don't know. This is just to each their own.
Well, I would like to try to write a whole new hour for my next tour.
It's tough. It's so hard to write an hour,
because
man.
again, first tour, like you said, you have your best off in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
and you pick and it's so tight and slick.
Yeah.
And then you burn all that and you start over.
It does get easier though, I think.
It does?
I think.
Okay.
I mean, I'm in the process right now, so many more comics with a lot more experience than me, but I'm in the process of throwing away my first hour and then doing my second. But it's been what? Because my special came out during the pandemic. So I couldn't try shit. You know, so like
you don't try to Zoom comedy shows.
No, hell no. That is just a lose situation. And what if God forbid somebody records you and shit? Like it's all it just sounds terrible to me. So when I finally was able to like get out and like try stuff again, it was tough because I couldn't really use the old stuff. Yet I haven't tried any of the new stuff.
Oh yeah, you're starting from scratch.
Yeah, so I mean that's why like I was doing a lot of shows just locally before I went out on the road and you know.
Nice, man.
Had that new hour.
Yeah, I'm doing 10 minutes before your show tomorrow, so
that's gonna be very exciting. People's gonna be stoked.
Oh really? You think your fans will like my stuff?
I think so.
Okay, cool, man.
Think so.
I'll see. Thank you for having me on it.
It's gonna be great. Well, I mean, by the time this podcast comes out, we've had done the show.
Yes, I know, but
I
it
guess
comes out
we'll
Wednesday.
see.
Oops, sorry, man. But I can help you plug. Go buy tickets to see Jimmy O Yang on Friday. Right? Where are you playing?
Ebell Theater. Wilshire Ebell Theater. Or just generally. I think that show is probably sold out because it's so close. But can go to jimmycomedy.com.
jimmycomedy.com.
Yeah,
Funny
for all the
Asian
show.
guy.
Funny Asian dude.
Okay, sorry.
On Instagram.
Funny Asian
Or you can
dude.
also type in funnyasiandude.com.
Oh,
Those are
really?
the same site. I got a lot of websites. A lot of URLs.
All redirects to the same website.
I also have celebdicksize.com. No, seriously, type in celebdicksize.com. I promise you, it'll go to my site.
Website.
Yeah.
What else you got? That goes
Maybe
there?
like Asian comedian. I don't know. I gotta look. I have like a few. Jimmy O Yang spelled different ways. Jimmy Comedy. But Celeb Dick Size, I was gonna make it into like celebnetworth.com, but it's like celebrities' dick sizes.
It's pretty self-explanatory. I get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain.
But that never got off the ground, you know.
Yeah. How many do you have in your little database?
Well, my thing was everybody starts at 2 inches. Okay. Well, it's really a racket to strong arm people. Everybody starts at 2 inches, and then you have to pay me $5,000 per inch.
Oh,
So if you hit like the masses, if everyone is like paying, so now everybody's like 7-8 inches or whatever. You don't want to be the only celebrity out there that's 2 inches.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so then you gotta pay me, you know, whatever, like $40,000 to get it up there.
Okay. Do they lose inches over the course of time?
Yeah, if they don't pay, maybe it should be a subscription model. Every 2 years you gotta re-up.
Yeah.
And if you don't pay, you go down an inch.
$5,000 to maintain an inch per year.
Yeah.
That's a good business model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the only guy that's 2 inches.
Let's help it take off, man.
Yeah, let's do
You
it.
can just take some photos of any random micro penis and put it next to the people who haven't paid up yet.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Like, ooh, a side by side.
Yeah, people are drawn by the visuals, man.
Yeah.
People are drawn by the visuals.
You start at 4. There you
Oh.
go. I just gave you a $10,000 off.
Oh, thank you very much. That's about right. That's about accurate. You know, let's keep it at 4.
Oh man.
People don't care. By the time they see it, it's too late. They're already in my lair.
You know,
They're already in my basement.
I don't understand when it's like, remember back in the day, especially in like college, uni, you guys, or like school, people are like, oh, why she's so hot? Why is he with this dumpy guy? And then bros would be like, oh, cause he probably has a huge dick or something. It's like, but how would she know in the first place?
Maybe you can see the bulge. Maybe just show her.
Or maybe it's word on the streets.
Word
on the streets.
Word on the streets.
Yeah,
I wonder what the word on the street on my dick is.
Yeah.
You ever wonder that? You haven't been dating in a while, right? You've been
Well, I've been with my girlfriend 9 months now. Well, I have a funny story about that. Me and Tiffany Haddish, we have the same manager and stuff, and we used to hang out. It was like right before she blew up. We still like, you know, are very we're good friends, and this was years ago. We had a Comedy Central party. We Uber back together to make 2 stops to her place and my place, and then I was like, hey Tiffany, wanna stop by up here for a drink? You know, whatever, you know, like pretty obvious.
Make a move.
And then like we're both pretty drunk, and then it was in an Uber, and then she was like, I don't know, Jimmy, word on the street, your dick game weak. And I was like, no, what? Who the fuck? what are you talking about, man? That's not even true. My dick game is great, you know? And I was like, who was your sources? Well, I started like arguing with her, but really that was just her testing me. You know what I mean? Like I was supposed to say, man, fuck that. Let me show you my dick game. You know, but I didn't understand the game of that. So like I was like
flustered.
Yeah, because the Uber driver started laughing. Because she kept saying, he's like, we're on the street, Jimmy, your dick game week. And then the Uber driver like started chuckling. I was like, no, that's not true, sir. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the proper response if a woman throws that at you?
I actually hashed that out with her on her talk show. And she was like, oh, that was it was just a test. You were supposed to be like, shit, let me show you my dick game. And I'm like, like, because I guess I don't know. I don't know that game.
Don't know that game?
Don't know that game.
What?
I'm very straightforward, you know? Like, I'm not,
okay, say more.
No, I'm just saying, like,
saying?
I just talk to a person and then I'm a nice guy. I don't do these dick games. You know what I mean?
Well, you still gotta have some dick game.
I have decent game, but I'm like a very honest. I'm a nice guy. I don't try to be an asshole. I don't try to do the game. You know?
Oh, when I say dick game, I just mean like performing in bed. I guess dick performance.
Oh, my dick game is great.
Okay.
My actual dick game.
There we go.
It's great. Yeah.
Okay.
Actual dick game is good.
Yeah, Bree enjoys it probably. You know.
Yeah.
I hope. What? I hope. For your sake, man.
I'm sure she does. I hope.
Yes,
you
great
know.
job. I see you guys travel. You pop out on my Instagram all the time. You guys are in Thailand recently.
Yeah, in Thailand. That was a fun trip.
She's an adventurous eater. So
she's
good
great.
for you.
Because she lived in Sydney for 5 years and she lived in Hong Kong for a year. So she loves Asian food.
Yeah, Asian food.
And just very open. Very, very, very smart and cultured, which I liked.
It's hard to find it. Well, especially in the UK, I think they're not racist, but it's just that they're not exposed to as much like Asian things.
Yo, I mean,
it's so hard to introduce someone to that when they're so foreign and unfamiliar with it.
I've been to the UK, dog. I gotta say, I didn't like the food there.
Yeah, where'd you go? London,
and like y'all had great Indian food.
It's
pretty good.
Hit or miss. You need to know the good places.
But like I couldn't do pub food. I couldn't.
No, nobody eats pub
or
food,
like
man.
or white people food or like. Or maybe if people keep telling me I didn't go to the right place, I'm like, but that's not the point. LA, if you go to Thai town, you go any Thai joint, $10, it's good. Any pho, pretty good. You know, you go to the east side, Chinatown or like Monterey Park, everything's pretty good. There's a baseline.
Exactly.
The baseline in the UK was just really bad.
Oh, the baseline is like I'd rather starve, really.
Yeah. Okay. So for you, it's bad too.
Yeah, the baseline. Yeah, bad,
Okay.
really bad. Like LA, you like what you said, and you go to Paris, baseline amazing.
Yeah, baseline is good.
Boulangerie, like any like patisserie, bakery is amazing.
Yeah.
And then Asia as well. In Malaysia, you can go to like a little street food stall next to a petrol station,
Anything
gas
is good.
station. Great.
I went to Japan. I asked my buddy, it's like, you've been there a few times. Give me some recommendations. He's like, I'm not going to give it to you. You walk into any restaurant. It's fucking good because they take pride in it.
Yeah. In the UK, you need to like follow some food bloggers on Instagram to know where the cool spots are. And then because there's so few good places, it's impossible to book. There's only one good Mexican place in London, and it's like booked out 3 months in advance. Like, how am I gonna?
Is it good for London, or like compare Mexican food here? Is it actually really good?
I don't know. That's why I'm trying to find out, but I can't. Now I have the money, but I don't have the time to book it out or just stand in line and just wait and refresh on the day to.
Damn.
You know, but Mexican food in Europe in general is pretty shit. So.
I'll
have it here, not in.
Oh, LA Mexican food is great. San Diego or whatever. I mean, just take a trip to. Me and my girlfriend was just in Cabo. But I heard Mexico City was awesome. You know, there's a lot of places that's like here in LA that's like from Mexico. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that, man. But K-Town, I'm really enjoying K-Town.
Oh, K-Town is great.
Yeah, terrible. The neighborhood's okay.
Yeah.
And I was talking
it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, downtown is a bit like, boy, you know.
I don't know.
Yesterday I played Regent Theater. That was downtown. I just kind of made a joke about it. It's like, fuck. It's so nice inside the theater.
Yeah,
you walk outside, it's like, whoo, shit.
There's like it's like Skid Row right there.
Yeah.
No,
crazy. What happened to LA, man?
It's always been like that, I think, in downtown especially. But even neighborhood, even you can be in the best neighborhood, 2-3 blocks away, you see a homeless encampment. It's quite sad. Do you guys have homeless issues in UK?
Yes, but nowhere near as bad as this. We don't see tents on the streets.
Yeah.
We see people like that's rough. Few people sleeping rough. But then the UK is like the worst of Europe, homelessness wise.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and it's even like pretty decent compared to here, of course. You go to like Sweden, and you see maybe one guy who's still pretty well put together, but he's homeless because he's sleeping on the street, but he's like well shaven. And
yeah,
groomed,
it seems like that guy's by choice homeless in Sweden.
Just doesn't want to pay the rent there.
Yeah.
You been to Europe much?
I study abroad in Florence, Italy for 4 months.
Nice.
So I traveled
Good food.
around there.
Again, baseline's high.
Baseline is awesome.
Dude.
Are you kidding me?
Wine in Europe is so cheap and amazing, and wine here is expensive.
Honestly, any wine at a liquor store in Florence, like $10, you get the DOCG tag and it's great Chianti.
Oh, Chianti's my shit, man.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Yeah, you
I
know your
love it.
stuff. Drink
I
a
love
Chianti
it.
for football Sunday next time instead of
No, man.
Coors Light.
No. You fall asleep. Chianti make you, wine makes you fall asleep.
wine makes me like talkative and fun.
For how long though?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a couple hours, like 3-4 hours, and then I'm done.
How long is football Sunday?
So
games
football
in a row.
Sunday, each game is like 3 to 4 hours, and there's
Jesus.
3 games. So you start from 10 a.m. and then that ends at 1, and then from 1 that ends at like 4:30. You get a little break, and then from 5:30 you get Sunday night football all the way to like 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot. That's a lot of football.
that's what you should get ready for if you move to America.
Yeah, sports is a big thing here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like going to any bar here, there's like 17 TV screens all showing different
Yeah.
sports.
But obviously you don't have to get into sports.
Yeah.
Are you into soccer? Anything?
No.
Really?
I'm into like what? Fiction books and
Oh, that's nice.
interiors now, I guess.
That's very nice. Of you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
don't know. I need to.
How are you single?
I need to just be friends. That people think I'm gay, probably. But it's just,
Wow, that was a.
I don't know. Well, how am I single? I don't know. I'm not really looking anyway. I meet people. Sometimes it's fun to go out on a date, whatever.
Well, especially if you're thinking about moving and stuff.
yeah,
It's hard
I don't know where I'll be in a year.
Yeah.
Right? And also, I find myself in this weird like place where, as in like culturally, it's hard to find. Like, I'm not super westernized just yet. I still have a lot of Asianness in me, but I'm
Yeah.
also not super Asian anymore either.
That's very true.
If I date someone from Malaysia, like who's never left the country, I'm like, oh, we don't get along.
No way. Yeah.
But if I date someone completely American, it's like, okay, maybe a few more years before I catch up to.
Yeah.
that
No,
vibe,
I
you know?
absolutely agree. And because for me, it's same, right? Like I'm very Chinese and I'm very, very American now, but still has a ton of Chinese tendencies. And I realized I just got to date someone that's like open to culture, open to explore, open to like Brie is great. I mean, she's very cultured herself, but she's from Ohio, but she lived in different places and she's open to different ideas and cultures and food, which is great. I think if you're open to food, that's it.
Yeah, because also that's kind of my livelihood.
Yeah,
That's
too.
my work. I bitch about people's food. I
Yeah.
bitch about chefs trying their best. And I have made a career out of it, which I'm very, very proud of, shitting on
Yeah,
people.
I think maybe it's just that. Maybe you just gotta find somebody
Yeah, that'll be
that's
good.
cultured with food.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you said like Chinese, so do you want kids in the future? You're thinking?
I think so.
You think
Yeah,
so?
in the future,
I
yeah.
always worry, man, if I date someone who's not Asian and then you have mixed kids. That's why I jokingly say on the podcast I'm against race mixing, but not for the the super
But half
right-wing
Asian
crazy
and
reason.
half any babies are super cute.
Yeah, they're cute, but they don't fit in anywhere. Right, full
Oh,
Asian.
interesting.
They go to Asia, they
That's what
feel
you
at
mean,
home.
yeah.
Fully white. They're here.
But I feel like the
majority race.
next few generations, everybody's gonna be mixed. Like The Rock. The Rock fits in anywhere. Jessica Alba fits in anywhere. You know what I mean?
True.
Like if you're beautiful, you fit
better
in
be beautiful
any.
then.
Yeah, if you're beautiful,
You've got an ugly mixed race kid, just abort him,
I don't think you would know if it's
You can
You
tell
know.
by the skull shape.
Oh, can
this
you?
guy's gonna have this baby's gonna have a weird head.
Once again, the opinions on this show is mostly expressed by Nigel Ung, and it does not reflect my personal opinions.
Yes, Jimmy is very pro race mixing. And,
By my actions, yes. Just the fact that you say the words race mixing
I know.
worries me.
that's the vow of the podcast.
Yeah, or maybe
I
that's
get
the
away
way.
with it. I get away with it.
Yeah, or maybe that's the way you say it. Because here we just say what interracial couples relationships.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
acronyms like BWAM, like Black women, Asian men.
Okay.
AMWF, Asian men, white women.
That to me is creepier.
A little bit.
Like
a little
whole
bit. When you get into
genre.
those blogs, that's
Yeah.
fucking weird.
Oh yeah, they post their opinions at the subreddits.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Have you been on those like what Asian identity subreddits? It's like so toxic and evil. And
They all turn pretty MR Asian, like the men's right age.
the moment they see an Asian woman dating a white guy, they lose their shit.
Oh no! Come on, man! Come on! no.
It's like, let them date whoever they want.
That's what I mean. Those guys, their dick game's weak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If it bothers you that much, your dick game's not right.
Just I agree. So I don't know. Maybe I should not use the word race mixing.
Yeah, no. Don't.
I feel like the vibe of my podcast is, if I ever land something big on a mainstream channel or whatever, they can look at any episode. Seriously, any episode will have stuff I said that I've been canceled before. I've made Ukraine jokes. I've made I don't know. I've got canceled because of
So you don't
China
plan
shit
on
before.
having an acting career? Is that
Well, I probably can't. Yeah. Probably can't.
Just delete it. Once you book your show, just delete
the whole thing.
Just delete the whole thing.
It stays up in the internet forever though once you post it.
That's why I love Jimmy's Kitchen because it's just something different, something a little educational and accessible, but it's not a podcast. Everyone has a podcast, and if you talk enough, they're gonna be able to find something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
maybe the smart move is to not have a podcast. Ronnie Chang doesn't have a podcast. Smart move.
No, I don't have a podcast.
Yeah, you don't have a podcast.
Ali doesn't have a podcast, I don't think.
I've made a big mistake in my career. Well, too late now. We're already we're about to cross 100K subscribers on this podcast.
Oh, that's great, man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So thank you. I think you will be the catalyst that helps pushes it. We're at 99.5.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Silver buttons coming.
See, you are a mogul. You got almost 5 million subscribers on your YouTube?
Almost six.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I try my best, man. People like the offensive shit sometimes,
I know Uncle Roger can get away with it. I feel like,
yeah,
which is great.
Sometimes you put an orange polo, you can say like meaner things. I've said things in Uncle Roger section that I can't get away with saying it as myself, and I've tried it on stage before.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a very interesting dynamic, Yeah.
Do you ever walk around as Uncle Roger on the street?
No.
I just swear.
Why would I do that? It's a lot of effort.
Do you avoid it? Like, okay. Say you're on a date with a girl. She's a big fan, really attractive, and she's like, come on, give me a little Uncle Roger. Would you do it?
In bed, yeah.
Oh,
I'll do it in bed.
You wait till you get in bed to do it.
If she makes the requests, if she makes can you just wear an orange polo for me once? And I've done it before because she called me Roger. I put it
Wait
on.
a minute. Wait a minute. What?
Okay,
hold up. What?
She just called me Roger in bed instead of my name, instead of Nigel. So I was like, okay, well, do you want me to put an orange polo on? She said, yeah, that'll be kind of.
So in the middle of sex.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to offer
foreplay for I forget what exactly we were doing now, but it wasn't like penetrative sex just yet.
Okay.
I probably think I was probably going down on her, and then she was like, "Oh, Roger," she just said Roger, and I just
and then
laughing,
you put on the orange polo,
like, yeah,
no pants, and then had sex with her.
Did I do that? Yes.
Wow.
Why? You gotta try something kinky, right?
Did you see this woman after? Like, was that the one and only?
We saw each other a few times. That's it.
Did you have to wear orange polo every time?
No, just once. I think that's a one-time thing. We both laughed. We she had a good sense of humor,
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't like laughter in the bedroom.
Nah, sometimes you'll take that over crying,
Jesus. Yes. I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so.
My dick game's not as strong as yours, Jimmy.
You need that orange polo.
Orange polo dick game.
To get the job done.
I need to put some MSG on it,
Oh, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. Whatever works,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing the podcast, Jimmy. That was super fun.
This is very fun, man.
Plug. What do you want to plug? Tell our listeners, where can we find you?
Oh, just jimmycomedy.com. You guys can see all the upcoming shows happening. I'm doing a big tour all over America and going to then Australia and maybe Asia. None of that's announced yet. So just keep an eye on. Follow your boy. Follow me on at Funny Asian Dude
on Instagram.
And check out Jimmy's Kitchen, where you'll find me and Uncle Roger making a fried rice.
It's some lighthearted, fun, appropriate humor.
Yeah, exactly.
That won't get you canceled. It's very nice. It's a good business
uncancelable. Decision. If I get canceled for Jimmy's Kitchen,
it's like the sweetest thing.
It's nice. It's very nice.
I get canceled once a year on average. I think I'm that kind of comic now.
Oh, really?
Not through a fault of my own. The first time I was on some China stuff, I collabed with this guy who was very anti-China, and then my Chinese social media account started getting reported. I was like, oh no, what do I do now? So I was still new to being successful, like being like having some sort of success at the time. So I was like, okay, just take it down, whatever, man. I told my Chinese social media team, just take it down, like write a statement. But the statement they wrote.
You have a Chinese social media team?
Yeah. I'm on Weibo, Bilibili, Douyin.
Oh,
that stuff.
wow.
But
that's awesome.
Go follow Jimmy, follow his travels. I'm doing Asia too.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I think we might just either, I don't know, like I think our schedules are different, so we won't bump into each other over in Asia.
But yeah, the only time, well, I'm going to see you at the theater tomorrow.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks
for listening,
having me
guys.
here.
See ya.